Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sheila here in Boho Daydreams. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's having a good weekend, and I hope that everybody got to do one thing that made their hearts smile. I was asked over the weekend, the lady had seen my boho bead that I had created, and she asked me if I would create some beads and a boho bead for a wedding journal that she's creating. And I thought, oh wow, it would be my honor, even though it makes me kind of nervous. So the colors were pink, cream, and sage. And so I decided to make a very simple and elegant bead in the boho style without all the color and without all the beads. So I just added some Swarovski crystals and a pearl and a piece of jewelry that came from one of the Indian necklaces. And she had seen some of my beads. Well, she got one of the velvet packages, one of the Amore packages, and her package had included some of these types of beads. So she asked if I would create a selection of beads in the colors that she had stated, and so I did. And I love these beads. I wish I could find more of them, but they're pretty old. Not like old, but I've had them for, I don't know, dozen or so years. So I don't even know where I ever ordered them from. They came from a special shop way back. Anyway, so we're going to make this bead, or we're going to attempt to make that boho bead. I'm not going to do the loop. I've already done a tutorial on the loop, so we won't focus on the loops or the wiring. We're just going to focus on how I made that bead. So what you'll need is your selection of pliers. You'll need a needle nose flat pliers. You'll need a rounded, double rounded needle nose pliers, and you'll need a little wire snipping tool. You'll need a scissors. You will need wire, and you'll need two different gauges. And this is a 20 gauge wire, and this is for the loops. And I love the 20 gauge. It holds the loops a lot better, and this stringing wire is really nice because it's not hard on the hands. So you'll need a 20 gauge wire. You'll also need a coordinated 26 gauge wire. And when you're looking at wires, the higher the number, the finer the gauge. You'll also need straws. The pink bead was created with one of these straws, one of the drinking straws that I just cut in half. I cut it in half, and then I just twist it to make it the width that I want, and then I tape it. But we're going to use one of the paper drinking straws. That's what we're going to use. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, we need some beads, bead caps and beads. And I have some beautiful, I don't know, these might be sterling silver bead caps. I've had them so long I don't know any longer what's what. Some Swarovski crystals, and then some little green pearls. You'll need fabric. A simple fabric for the core, and because we're using tulle, beautiful tulle for the bead, you want to make it either a complementary color, or you'll want a white or cream colored base. And then you'll need your favorite glue, and I'm using Fabri-Tac because my art glitter glue, which has been recommended because this glue makes my fingers so icky. And I have one more tutorial to do that I was going to use the other glue. But the nozzle on it is all plugged up. So what you're going to do is attach a little bit of glue to the one end, and then you're just going to wrap your bead base. And because this is already a bit thicker, a bit of a wider diameter, I'm not going to add as much fabric. And I just roll it down. I roll it the length of my, I don't think my bead's going to be that long, but I still roll it to the end because I don't exactly know where I'm going to be stopping. I don't know how long I want my bead. And if you have, stuff like that, just cut that off. You don't want that in your bead. You would if it was a regular boho bead, absolutely, because generally I make my beads with those fuzzes, the colored fuzz that comes off of my fabrics. I save that when it's, you know, a bright color. I like to keep a bit more on the center. All right, that's it for that. I think I might wrap. Let me just glue this bit. I might just add a bit to the center because I don't want it too thin in the center. I want it just a little bit thicker. And I just glue the ends. You're not going to see this, so you don't have to be too careful. You don't want big globs, but you don't have to be too careful. So it looks like that. I might just want to add just a little bit to the center. So the last of the Amore tutorials has now been posted. I'm so happy. I'm happy that's done. I'm sure Sally's even happier it's done, because for her it was even a longer project than it was for me, because I was gone part of the time while we were, you know, working on this. I was in Canada. So I'm sure Sally's even happier. So I just want a little bit more bulk in the center. Just kind of going up and down a bit. And keep some good tension on it so that when you're going to put the other fabric on, it's not going to be too loose. We also are mailing out. Sally and I created a lot of the Amore packages, so they're going out. I think there's just a couple left, and I might show them to you in the next tutorial. And then I can see I don't want this part of the bead already, so I'm just going to cut that off. Wow, that went flying. I'm going to cut some of this off because I might need to glue the ends a little bit. One thing I want to do right now is check to make sure that my bead caps are actually going to fit. Otherwise, I have to find more bead caps. Yes, they fit. All right, so the next I put on the tulle. And I'm not putting on a whole lot of this, and let me see, maybe I'll try this way. Put it on this way. I just want it light, just lightly wrapped around. Yeah, this is good. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Just so it sticks. Just on the edge. Like that. And then just roll it. Keep tension on it from top to bottom. Keep the tension good. Thank you for all the wonderful feedback with the Amore tutorials that I think I might need more glue. Oh, there it is. For all the wonderful tutorials, you know, that you commented on, that you watched, that you gave me good constructive feedback on. I really appreciated that. Oops. I'm learning. Teaching isn't something that I find very easy at all. I'm not a teacher. I know some of you said, "Oh yeah, you did well. You know, you're like an instructor." Well, that probably comes from the fact that I had to do a lot of patient teaching, making sure they understood the importance of their medication, etc. So it probably comes from that. All right, so we've got the base done. And you can see through it a little bit, and that's okay. All right, so let me cap my glue up. All right, so what am I going to do next? Okay, I'm going to cut some of this off, because we don't need all of that. And we're going to trim it up yet some more. Now I'm going to take, and you're going to have to excuse my fingers, because now they're already gluey. So I'm going to take this wire, and I want to take and wrap the ends and wrap this while I'm doing it. So I'm going to take, just start wrapping around the end, and I'm going to just have some pressure on it because I want it nice and tight. So it's not going to flip off the end. And now I'm just going to gently wind my way down the bead. And this is just a generalization. That bead, you know, the practice and whatnot for the pink bead took a little longer than what I'm doing right now because it was going on a wedding journal. And then I just take and wind this wire around the end a bit, like that. There, looks good. All right, we're going to trim this off. This is why you need this pliers. And I'm just going to try and clip that in like that. Make it nice and tight. And tight, good. So we have that. Now I have to figure out which I want, top or bottom. And that takes me a little bit of time to decide because I go back and forth and back and forth. And this is just an impromptu tutorial, so I haven't practiced this one up at all. All right, so now we're going to use this wire, and I have a pre-cut piece already because I had to do this. I already had to do this once. So I made the loop on the end. I already made the loop on the end like that. So I'm going to put on some beads. Let's see, what have I got here? All right, let's see. I'm going to try this one. No, I need a crystal first. Put the crystal on. I love Swarovski crystals. They sparkle so pretty. I don't know if that's sparkling right now because I have to have the curtains closed because it's really bright. Also, make sure that your wire is somewhat straight. It's easier to straighten out now than it is after you've got it through the little bead tube. Let's see. Yes. That looks nice. So I'm going to pop another one on this end. And I don't believe in coordinating that one end looks like the other at all. That one's a little bit. I'm going to have to add a little bit of glue to the end to tuck those fibers in. And generally what I would do is I would just put the glue right on my finger. But I don't want to do that. I want to show you. I don't want to do that. I don't even want to be using this glue. Yeah, half this tutorial is all about me and my glue bottle. That one's going bye-bye after this. Just want to get some of that a bit hardened up so it's going to stay inside. All right. Oh, I just found these bead caps in one of my little containers that I have of beads. And it is so beautiful. They're so beautiful. You know what? I might have to switch these around because this end, one end is bigger than the other. So I got to switch it around. So this is going to be the bottom. Because this bead cap is bigger. All right. There. That's better. No point in fighting. All right. There we go. So I'm going to pop. Let me see. I've got a little bead cap here. Pop this one on. Pop the little green guy on. Oops. I'm going to pop one of the little crystals on. All right. So hopefully we're not going to be scattering all over. And I put some tension on that. That looks good. And I'm going to tie this off. Whoops. I need to trim this just a little bit before I do. I'm a bit on the fussy side with things. I'll have to be careful I'm not going to. Be careful I'm not going to cut my wire. I did cut something. Something went flying. All right, that's better. You have to hold it really tight. And I try and get my loops kind of coordinated in the same direction. And I'm going to link making loops in the description box because I'm not really going to talk about them right now. And I just go around and round. Now I straighten my bead out a little bit because you got the wire in there, so you can do that. There. I'm going to snip this off. And then you can hang anything you want off the bottom. There we go. There. So pretty. So easy to make. Can't show you how it hangs, but it's very similar now to this one. It's just a little bit longer. And they're just practice. Anyway, I hope this tutorial has been okay. If there is something that I could have done better, please let me know. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.